what are those keys? Well, essentially it's focusing on existing patients, building loyalty with those patients and satisfying their needs. And so what I mean by that is, when you have a patient come in, if 7 out of 10 aren't going to come back, anything that you can use to build loyalty to get them to come back in the future, obviously is hugely valuable. And that's, another feature that we're in the process of building in with SmileMate is, not only can we scan them in the clinic, but we can then, once they have that information, they have that app on their phone, we can give them the ability to scan in the future and use that to then reactivate them in for, regular appointments as needed. And the other thing is satisfying their needs. As I said, the amount of, research with SmileMate and sort of trying to investigate why is it that the average Invisalign or the average dentist doing ortho is doing, less than a case a month versus say a specialist clinic. That's sort of one of the things that sort of came to mind, is that a lot of the time it's the process of identifying and having these conversations with patients in a GP clinic just isn't the same as obviously it is in a specialist clinic. So, satisfying the needs of patients when they actually want a solution was a big driving influence for us as well. So, there's a lot of reviews and videos out there of Smile Direct Club patients where they're sort of specifically saying that they never even had a conversation with their normal dentist, or they didn't go to a regular dentist before they signed up to Smile Direct Club treatment. So obviously price is an issue, and a lot of patients choosing direct consumer treatment is purely price driven. But I think that there's a huge segment of the market there that would be happy to pay a small premium to have a doctor involved, have a local point of support, and having those conversations at the right time with those patients is super important. And the other thing is building a local brand. So that's where using this technology outside of your clinic at either community events or partnering up with local businesses and building that brand to create that flow of new patients into the clinic, and not having to rely on mass media advertising that the Smile Direct Clubs of the world are using. It gives you a competitive advantage. It gives you a place to reach patients that others can't. So, ultimately with SmileMate and really with ortho in general, we're talking about sales. Like, there's a big sales component to orthodontics. And when you look at, an ortho clinic, with the way the front office is set up, or the way that the treatment coordinator process is sort of set up, we give them sort of medical orthodontic terms, but ultimately, we have that sales process built in. Whereas in a dental clinic, obviously, often, people are multitasking and things like that. And so that's, one of the things that we wanted to solve with SmileMate. Essentially they say that discovery is 90% of a sale. Well, SmileMate is the discovery tool. Rather than trying to train everyone in the clinic on scripting and how to be better salespeople, et cetera, we want to basically give the patient a tool to review their own situation, let them discover themselves what's been observed, and give your staff, whether it's the doctors or the hygienists or the staff in charge of going through that report with patients, give them a starting point to have that conversation about orthodontics and other treatment solutions. So obviously, there's a lot at play here, but there's also a huge opportunity. The really great thing about all this disruption in dentistry is that the attention by the public has never been higher. The awareness of orthodontics, the awareness of dentistry, it benefits hugely from all the advertising dollars that these companies are putting in. And so ultimately, they are expanding the market a lot, and there's a lot of opportunity in that for the existing players and the existing clinicians.